Hey guys, I'm going to do a response video to some Christian comedian. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't care if someone's a Christian or an atheist or a Jewish comedian. I don't care if they're a Muslim comedian. To me, if you're a comedian and you have fresh material that doesn't have to deal with your belief system or your philosophy, I'm fine with your source material. I like comedy. I like to laugh from time to time. But what I hate when comedians do this, and I'm not the only one that hates it, other professional comedians like Chris Rock and all them comedians who are professional stand-ups, they hate when you have to incorporate your faith in your material because that fills in stuff that you have nothing to talk about. And George Carlin is notorious for knowing not to do that. If you watch any George Carlin special, he's always talking about something new, each special. He made jokes about taking a shit. At least it was something to talk about. He didn't fill in the gaps of talk about religion all the time. If he did that, it was because there was something going on here in America that religion was the root cause of that problem and he had to address it. That's the only time you bring up religion, is either if it's causing trouble to a nation, and it causes trouble to America a lot. I'm just pointing it out. So there's this Christian comedian who, Brad Stein, and he says atheists are irrational, and let's see why he thinks that.
We have people that are so self-absorbed that just because their little niche market isn't being represented, they want to freak atheists. The only ideology that just freaks me out.
Okay. There's people that are self-absorbed, true. But aren't Christians more self-absorbed than anybody of any other religion? Think about it. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. You have people, even of Christianity religion, who don't care what you think about God or their version of a higher power. They don't care. You have Muslims in America who don't give a shit what atheists think of Allah. You know, because even American Muslims, American Jewish people, American Christians, American whatever religion, they don't care. The majority of them don't care what us atheists think of the existence of their gods or gods, because you even have Lutherans who are part of the Christian religion who say, well, yeah, atheists have a point when it comes to heaven and all that. After we die, we're just dead. The soul just passes on. That's the Lutheran belief. And so you have people of other religions within Christianity, within Muslim, who agree with atheists on some type of levels. Now, and you also say that atheist is the only philosophy that scares you. I'm going to bring up call of Dusty's point, NAMBLA, National Man-Boy Love Association. Does the philosophy of child molesters scare you? Because I know that scares me, and I'm a decent human being. That scares me. Religion scares me on some level, but that's only when you use it for a terroristic attack. Like, for example, any extremist religion, I did a video about this, any extremist in any religion or group or whatever is dangerous. extremist Islam. When they use their Islam religion to behead people and use that as an excuse, that scares the living shit out of me. When the KKK uses Christianity to burn crosses in front of people's houses, and yes, they still do that, that scares the living shit out of me as well. I'm a decent human being. That's when religion scares me. But other than that, even religious people don't care about religion. I'm not talking about the churchgoers. I'm talking about the people who believe in a God, but they don't go to church. They don't even care about religion on Sunday because they can't wake up that early to go to church.
Atheist wants under God taking on the Pledge of Allegiance. You know why? It offends him.
No. It doesn't offend us. The reason why we want under God out of the Pledge of Allegiance, I'll tell you why. It's not because God offends us. No, that's what the media and you Christian comedians want to perceive about atheists, that we're offended by God. No, we're not offended by God. We don't believe in God. We're not offended by God. We don't believe in God. And to add to the fact that I have my great-grandfather's 8th grade autograph book. And in the very beginning, on the front page, is the original Pledge of Allegiance before the Chinese Red Scare in the 1950s. And it went, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. That's the original Pledge of Allegiance. We wanted to go back to the original Pledge of Allegiance because for the sole fact in the 21st century you have so many people living here in America with all different types of religions. Okay, so you Christian comedian just want under God in the pledge. Well, what if an American Muslim student who's in high school says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under Allah, with liberty and justice for all? Would that offend you? No, that would make you mad because they're saying under Allah, which is their God. Or would you get mad if a Buddhist student said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under Buddha, with liberty and justice for all? I know Buddhism is not a religion, and I know a lot of Buddhists get mad when it's called a religion. I know it's a way of life, but it's listed as a religion, so I'm just going to use that as an example. Would you, Christian comedian, get mad at that? You shouldn't, because it's what they believe in. Not everyone's going to believe in your God, or what you think created this universe. Not everyone's going to believe in the same religion as you do.
I'm like, dude, you're an atheist. You don't even believe God is real.
Yes, you're right there. And I said, we don't believe God is real. We know we don't believe God is real.
How can he offend you?
Like I said before, he does not offend us, and that's not even a funny joke. It isn't. You're asking a question to address to atheists, thinking that we're immoral human beings, when last time I checked, people who volunteer at soup kitchens are more non-believers than believers, because you have a lot of Christians who go to church on Sunday and on Saturday, and they hear how Jesus healed the sick, helped the poor, but if a poor person comes up to them asking them for money, you have a lot of Christians who are like, get away from me, you filthy hobo. So, who is irrational, atheists or self-absorbed Christians? Okay, just to point out, one, to be a comedian, you don't have to make your material a rally. Second of all, it's the other way around. The one who doesn't believe in a God is an irrational. The one who is self-absorbed and thinks that he or she is the only great person because they have a God-given gift and all that, they're the irrational one. They're the ones who don't believe in evolution. They're the ones who are against dinosaurs. They're the ones who are against science. They're the ones who say science isn't proven, but God is. That sounds irrational in a lot of ways.
This is freaking you out. Unicorns? Unicorns! Oh, they're saying the unicorn word in school. Run, run! Crying out loud, it's become ridiculous. I don't care what you think. We look at life and think it has purpose and meaning. We think that love is real and courage is real and nobility is real and honor is real.
We think love is real. We think honor is real. We think reliability is real. We don't think that stuff. We know that's real. Reliability, love, and all that, they're human emotions. See, your brain, which is called gray matter, I'm assuming you don't know that, but your brain has different areas. It's like a big shopping mall. Your brain's like the Mall of America. And in your brain, there's a left side and there's a right side. Now, the human emotions are in the middle of the brain. The human emotions are connect in the middle of the brain, and that sends a message from your brain to your heart and to the human body then at that point. Another example of the way emotions are real. When you meet somebody who thinks like you, who doesn't care what you look like, and they want to get to know you more as a friend, and your heart starts racing, that's called love emotion. That's not we think it's real, that's we know it's real. And to say about unicorns, we use that as an example of saying how you could dupe anybody into believing in anything that man created.
None of those ideas that I just told you that you believe is real is in matter. It's not in molecules. It's not material. It's transcendent. It's something beyond our humanness. Something we...
No, it isn't. It's within our heads. Emotions are in our heads. I'm not even going to explain again.
Couldn't have got to on our own, and certainly it wasn't evolved by evolution, because evolution says that whatever happens to survive is all that matters. That's all that matters, which means right and wrong doesn't exist. Culture just creates it as it goes. You gotta be kidding me. You see beauty and you see the majesty of creation, for crying out loud, you see God and His handiwork.
Okay. Pause right there, Sparky. Listen. Man has the ability to design. Man has the ability to design. So, I'm gonna see if it's okay if you could question your own beliefs for a second. If you look at religion in the beginning of time, there were sun gods. Okay? And after a while, somebody who did meditation and all that started Buddhism. But before that, some guy who was a poet and wrote a fake story about a man named God and about his son Jesus and all that. And you had other people thinking, oh yeah, let's create this. And then Christianity was born. And early Christianity was even more violent than radical Islam of today. Do you know, within the Catholic Church, there's within documents, talking about a female pope, Pope Joan. She disguised herself as a man, and on her way to the Vatican, because there's the Vatican and the Pope's house, and then sometime, I think in the 19th century, they decided that the Pope would live in the Vatican. But she gave birth to a child in the middle of the street. And you know what those nice Christians did? Instead of, rejoicing that the Pope had a child, they stoned her to death along with the child. Yeah, they beat the brains out of the baby and the Pope. I think that's a sin in your religion. Am I correct? Murder?
How can you not see that? Well, God is a crutch. Yeah? Well, not believing in God is a coma.
Wait. Believing in God is a crutch. It's not a reality, it's a crutch. When someone like you, who's so devout, believing in a creator, you can grasp reality. The difference between agnostics and atheists and Christians and all other religions, except for Buddhism, I think we could put them right next to atheists and agnostics, really. We can grasp reality. You have to go to church every Sunday for a guy to tell you how to live your life for the next week. That's not grasping reality. That's using religion as a crutch to get along in life. Religion is like, Cameron Diaz put it this way, religion is like a Xanax. And you have a whole church dedicated to the Xanax. And you have a reality pill. And a lot of people choose to take the religion Xanax pill over the reality pill because they can't grasp reality. That's all it is. They want to feel nice and comfy and all that, but at the end of the day, you have bills to pay, your kids might be in the hospital. Wake up to reality and saying, if there was a God, my kid wouldn't be in the hospital, I wouldn't have to pay these higher bills, the rich would be taxed higher. You completely are forgetting the words of Jesus, my friend.
You don't see now. Anthony Flew, 50 years, one of the most famous philosophical atheists in the world. He's at Oxford. One of the most influential atheist philosophers in the world. 30 books on it. Recently said he's a deist now. You know what was the convincing force then? One of the most compelling convincing force? Intelligent design theory. By doctorates and double doctorates who say something must have done this, it couldn't have been by chance. He was convinced and became, after 50 years, a deist.
Okay, hold on. You brought up Anthony Flew. Okay. So you did your research, which I'm quite surprised. Okay.
Intelligent design theory, the same theory that a judge in Georgia said you're not allowed to teach kids. Because he's smarter than the atheist philosopher from Oxford. You gotta be...
There's multiple reasons why people aren't allowed to be near children or teach children. It's not because due to religion or intelligence. Maybe they are child molesters and they have a court order to stay away from children. You know, you have to think of perceived reality.
Prepared, folks. Prepared to battle for our country's standards of morality. What is going to face the next generation? God or just matter?
Atheists say, oh, I don't see a creation. No, we love to look at the mountains. We see the beauty in the mountains. It's not because of a God. It's because of molecules. It's because of the tectile plates moving. Oh, you don't know what tectile plates are? Okay. They're within the earth, and people live on them, more so in California than anything. There might be a few earthquakes in Texas here and there, but that's very far and in between. But in California, there's tectile plates, and that's when the dirt and the mantle rub together, and you get mountains that formed from these earthquakes and these volcano eruptions, and that's how the earth was formed over billions of years through evolution of its own kind. Before humans existed, before the human molecule or the life gene came into play on this planet, the earth formed by itself. It took a lot of hits until it got to where it is today.
But I say there's a whole bunch of people like us who aren't going away and want our country back, and we'll fight for it.
Okay, so America is only a Christian country? That is the most self-arrogant statement I've ever heard. There's even Muslim Americans who said this is everyone's country who lives there. Not just the Muslim country, Christian country, it's atheist country, it's Buddhist country, it's Jewish country. They know this. Even Jewish people know it's not just a Jewish America, it's everyone's America who lives here. America is Americans' country. You're using religion as a threat of war. That's what it comes off as. It may not sound like a threat of war, but that's what it comes off as. If you don't okay, it looks a lot like this. If you don't believe in God, we're going to have a war and put you, atheist, in termination camps until you say you believe in God. And don't say that I'm wrong, because there are a lot of Jesus camps where parents pay these people to kidnap their children and put them through horrendous, torturous things, and some cases they even get molested because maybe their child's gay, an atheist, or is fat and doesn't go to church. You know, these parents are a problem, and these camps are a problem. They're like internment camps for non-believers and gay people, gay children, and parents who can't accept the fact that their child's gay. And you're saying that this is only a Christian country? Horseshit. It isn't. It's everyone's country. It was a Christian country when this country began. But you know what? Times have changed.
And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me after all these years of working at comic books throughout the country. I finally just decided I'm going to come out. I'm a conservative and I'm a Christian and I'm proud.
Oh, there's your problem right there. You're a conservative and a Christian, so you don't like gay people. You don't want women to have rights. You don't want atheists expressing their ideas and philosophy. You don't want Buddhists expressing their ideas and philosophy. You don't want Muslims praying to Allah. You don't want... Do you see how self-arrogant and absorbed you are? You think you're so perfect that there's nothing wrong with you. Well, there is something wrong with you. It's not your belief in God. It's not that you're a conservative. It's because you're an arrogant asshole. You think there's nothing wrong with you. You think there hasn't been any flaws in your religion. The Spanish Inquisition. The Nazis putting the Jews in the concentration camp. That was all done in the act of God. The Romans destroying the city of Troy. All in the act of God. You know, the Nazis had belt buckles that said Gunseunts. God is with us. When they were doing this horrendous stuff to the Jewish people. So you're making Christianity sound like it had a long line of beatings. No, not at all. If you look at the history of the Jewish religion, Jewish people took more beatings than anything. That is the truth. That's the truth right there. The Jewish religion, the Jewish people will tell you their religion, their people have not only been killed for their belief in their version of God, but the fact that Christians killed them during the Spanish Inquisition and the Holocaust because they were Jewish and not Christian. So Christianity is the more KKK superiority religion than any other religion. Christianity is like the KKK. If you're not a Christian, then a lot of arrogant, self-absorbed Christians don't like you. Does that go for all Christians? No. There's moderate Christians, and when I say self-absorbed, arrogant Christians, I only mean moderate Christians. Moderate Christians I like. I'm friends with a lot of moderate Christians. I'm not friends with arrogant, self-absorbed Christians. Even moderate Christians can't stand those types of Christians. Conservative Christians are the worst. I can't tell you how horrible they are as human beings. They applauded the people who killed Matthew Shepard. This is how vindictive and evil they are. That's the extreme of Christianity that's dangerous. I'm Michael DePrima, and I'm going to post that video in the description to see how idiotic and dangerous this guy is.